Keone, can you tell us what is Monad?
Crypto is really about creating opportunities. Our team has worked a lot to build core technologies that we think pushes the space forward. For us, hopefully it's just the start of much greater presence here in Mexico City and more generally in LATAM.
You're here in Mexico, you're here in LATAM, your team is growing a lot, you have a lot of presence in crypto Twitter, in different events. What is next for Monad? Si digo México, ¿qué es lo primero que viene a tu mente?
Para mí es la palabra cultura.
Keone, thank you very much for being here in Mexico. I'm Lalo, and we have been talking a lot about how Monad came to Latin America. We're gonna cover a lot about, obviously, Monad, about yourself, about Monad being in Latin America. But first of all, I really appreciate that you, like, as a co-founder of Monad Foundation, come to Mexico, being in the first hackathon event of Monad in Latin America. So thank you very much for that. And Keone, can you please explain us how you speak Spanish?
Of course.
And
yeah.
why?
Happy to be here and thank you for having me. Thank you for the warm
Thank
welcome.
you very much.
My name's Keone, one of the co-founders of Monad. But yeah, as you said, I speak some Spanish. Definitely could be better. It's a little rusty nowadays, just because I'm very focused on writing code and talking to people in English and so on. But I'm half Hispanic. My mom is Mexican. I'm fourth generation Mexican on my mom's side and Chinese on my dad's side.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Keone, can you tell us what is Monad?
Sure. Monad is a new project that is helping Ethereum to really come into a new age of technology through a number of different technology improvements that we've been working on over the past couple of years. The Monad team is composed of mostly folks from high frequency trading and other system building backgrounds. And they've been working really hard to build a really high performance Ethereum compatible blockchain over the past couple of years, which offers over 10,000 transactions per second, sub 1 second finality, 400 millisecond block time. So just really fast, really efficient to deliver really high performance and really cheap transactions to allow applications to scale to anyone.
You mentioned high performance, and I was listening to another interview of you that you were a quant trader as well. So you were talking about efficiency, but we can get into that later. But I wanted to know, like, did you realize when you were a quant trader that we needed faster blockchains, or how did you realize this? Because we know that Monad is solving that problem, but I would like to know, how did you get into it?
I've been working for about 15 years now. The first 10 years of my career were in high frequency trading, working as a quant. And most of that time was not in the crypto space. It was actually just trading in the traditional finance markets, trading really high volumes, really low margin, really fast turnover times. But our team was building a really high performance system to scale to that level of volume and that level of activity. And that was just a good experience because it involved a lot of optimization. It involved learning really deeply how computer systems work at the lowest level and squeezing out every single microsecond, or actually every single nanosecond, in order to get down to sub 1 microsecond tick to trade times. A microsecond is a millionth of a second.
Wow.
So really, really fast performance. And I spent a number of years in that space building these systems, and then over time our trading team started to get more involved in the crypto space, trading different cryptocurrencies on centralized exchanges. So that was kind of like a transitional period where we were still trading, but we're also becoming more aware of like what was going on in the blockchain space, and starting to see some of the innovation. I remember when Binance Smart Chain came out in I think 2017 or so, and my coworker James telling me about this BNB coin and what was different about Binance Smart Chain compared to Ethereum, and telling me that he bought some BNB coin and so on. And then fast forward to 3 or 4 years later, when James and I actually decided to leave our place of work, Jump Trading, and start Monad along with the third co-founder. So it was kind of crypto was something we were involved with as a trader, like a lot of people actually in the space who maybe initially got involved just because they're interested in buying Dogecoin or buying
Right.
Ethereum or something. And then over time they get more involved, they learn more about the technology, and they learn about how they can contribute and how they can make new innovations to help push the space forward.
This is amazing. And actually, I was doing my research about you, and someone asked you like, what is one of your most important skills? And I thought that you were gonna say like something about code or something like a really hard skill to understand and to get it. But you mentioned that you work really hard. And in these days, you were here in the hackathon, and I really like how you were close to the builders. So you were working hard. You were actually in your computer, but you were not in an office. You were not like in your hotel. You were here with the hackers. And I think that that is one of the best skills someone can have, to know how to work hard. But how did you learn this? Was it like since the beginning, or how did you understand, or what was the process to develop the skill of working hard?
Yeah, I think that just comes from values that your parents teach you at an early age and kind of encourage you in direct or indirect ways. But I do think that it's a combination of having perspective about the world and recognizing the level of privilege that I have or that others around me have, and realizing that when you're in a position of incredible privilege, getting to grow up with plenty of resources and opportunities to take advanced classes and stuff like that, like one really might as well make the most of that opportunity. And so I feel like it's a combination of like one, just family values and the things that my parents taught me and how they carry themselves, and then also just like recognizing the amount of opportunity and the level of privilege that I have, and therefore that really should make the most of that opportunity.
I love that. I love that. And I feel super identified as Mexicans. So yeah, I completely agree. And you just mentioned something really important, that is privilege. I would say pressure is a privilege as well. And now Monad is one of the most important blockchains. And I'm really excited to know more about it. So let's go into that. So you talk about chains that they need to be fast. As you were mentioning, as a quant trader, it's just about some really milliseconds, right? Everything can be different for that. So how does Monad differentiate itself from high performance L1s and L2s? Because I was doing my research, and when I was saying like, okay, so I love that it's EVM compatible. So anyone from the EVM ecosystem can deploy on Monad. But also you mentioned in another interview about the speed of Solana. So I love that you're figuring out the way to have the best of both worlds. Not only Solana, but also Aptos, Sui, etc. There are other super fast chains. So how does Monad differentiate itself from those chains?
Yeah. Monad is a technology project that has spent a lot of really deep effort, a lot of laborious hours in measuring the performance of the EVM, looking at all the bottlenecks, and introducing a bunch of new tech that is just needed to address those bottlenecks. For context, right now, Ethereum has 12-second block times, and Ethereum has 12 to 18-minute finality. So when you submit a transaction, the transaction, although you see it in the blockchain within like 12, 24 seconds or so, it actually doesn't finalize. Like there's a possibility that it'll revert, and you have to wait, up to 18 minutes in order to see that finalization occur. And both of these time scales, like both the pace of blocks getting produced and transactions even getting included for the first time, and then the finalization are just very at odds with our, just as normal people, like our normal interaction with any kind of website or any kind of app. So Monad is really a project that brings all of those critical numbers way, way down to the lowest possible, or almost the lowest possible amount that they can be given decentralized layer 1 blockchain. Decentralized means that the control of the network is federated. It's spread out. It's not just all in one data center. It's not all just like one computer that controls that's the authority on all of the state, all of the smart contracts, all of the account balances. Rather, it's a decentralized system where you have nodes all around the world, all talking to each other and staying in sync with each other and processing transactions as fast as a computer can, given reasonable hardware requirements, and coming to consensus and producing new blocks as fast as absolutely possible, given the minimum amount of time for two nodes that are on opposite sides of the world to talk to each other. So it's really just like squeezing out all those inefficiencies and making the EVM and all of the applications and libraries and tooling and the really rich developer environment that is all built around the EVM, getting all of that to be super performant to enable really cheap transactions and really plentiful transactions for everyone.
That is awesome, because obviously you need like speed and cost. There needs to be a balance, and I think that Monad is proposing those two, and I think that that's an amazing way of bringing builders. And now let's talk about that, because there are a lot of chains. To be honest, like more and more chains are coming out. Mm-hmm. But there's one specific thing about Monad that personally I really love, that is that you take the project super serious, like seriously. The project is taken by the best teams I ever seen, but also you can make jokes, and there is a meme culture inside Monad, mm-hmm. because I think that you understand the importance of community. Mm-hmm. So you're here in Latin America, seeing you here in Mexico, specifically like flying from all over the world, like there are people mm-hmm. from Ukraine, there's people from Europe, there's people from the US coming. Mm-hmm. This is good. At least, like, I would say this is amazing that you're here for this event. But why are hackathons like this one important on building community and bringing builders to the ecosystem?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that crypto is really about creating opportunities, and that means our team has worked a lot to build core technology that we think pushes the space forward, but that's only useful if people can take advantage of that and take advantage of the opportunity that comes from a really performant, really cheap system that is decentralized, that has integrations with many other like exchanges and on-ramps, off-ramps, payment systems, etc., to build applications that change people's lives, that improve people's lives, deliver value to the world. And that really starts with and ends with the builders that are thinking about real problems that they want to solve for their communities, and engineering solutions that really go that last mile to help improve people's lives. So hackathons are really just the start of that. It's really fun to be here in a really energetic environment where there's a lot of ideation going on. There's a lot of creativity. People are experimenting with new ideas and sharing ideas really freely. For us, it's just very inspiring to be in this environment. And for us, hopefully it's just the start of much greater presence here in Mexico City and more generally in LATAM, because we do feel that it's a really, really important city to be in, and very inspiring city to be in and have a presence in.
Yeah, like in the past, I've been traveling around the world and I've seen a lot of similarities between Latin America and Asia on the ecosystem.
Mm.
So we at Bando, that is another company that I run with my co-founder,
Mm-hmm.
we have found pretty similarities between Southeast Asia and Latin America. All the global south, they have a lot of needs.
Mm-hmm.
But what unique opportunities do you see in Latin America and why you decided to come here?
I think Latin America, even like forgetting about crypto for a second, Latin America is really an emerging powerhouse. I mean, Latin America is so big, like it's
Right.
not just one country. It's like, so many different, really amazing countries with really rich history, with really strong culture. And I think there's a lot of really talented people here, both in Mexico City, Mexico, and Latin America in general, that are talented developers or talented creators or talented people who like make things happen. And folks have seen quality of life improve over quite a bit, and there's a lot of optimism for how things can change over the coming years. I think it's a combination of the people, the culture, the mentality, the skills, and the ambition for lives to improve. I do feel that in the U.S., people can definitely be more complacent or just a little bit taking things for granted. And of course, every person is different. We can't make a sweeping generalization, but it does feel like, to your point about Latin America and you were saying like Asia as well, it's like a lot of people that are just excited and optimistic about the future and willing to work hard and improve skills and create real things and grow very rapidly.
Yeah, we're really excited about this because I was listening to a podcast and I was reading about that Mexico is on the top 10 countries that graduates the most engineers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing this combination of young people, also that understands the technology, but also we have a lot of financial problems. Still like 50% of Mexicans do not have a bank account. There are a lot of remittances opportunities. So I think that making these type of events, not only hackathons, but acceleration programs or just workshops, chats, being close with the community is really important for Monad to become what you want to become in Latin America. And I think that that is super important. And also, let's talk a little bit more about that. So you've been here in Mexico for 5 days now. What's your impression of Mexico as a country? That we have a lot of problems, as we have mentioned, but still we're adopting crypto and the fintech ecosystem really fast. So I don't know about this. Have you listened about this concept of frog leaping, like frog jumping, or how they say it? Like we adapt one technology and we go directly to the best technology. So I don't know, like my grandma never had a computer and she jumped from the phone to the smartphone. She didn't go the way of phone, computer, smartphone, and now she has I open her wallet and sometimes it's just like, hey grandma, for you to test Bando. So we have seen a lot of this in Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia. What is your vision for Monad to be in that frog leaping?
Yeah, I think that it's two things. The first is from maybe like a narrower perspective. I would say that Monad is a project that is delivering frog leaping for crypto overall, because we're going from, I don't know, just like a lot of systems that are not very efficient. There's a lot of copycats. There's a lot of projects that portray themselves as very innovative, but really aren't actually introducing a lot of new innovation. It's just like a fork with some little changes. And Monad is just completely, everything is built from scratch. There's a completely new consensus mechanism. There's a whole bunch of new technology, new database, etc. So it's a kind of a new, it's just a new paradigm for builders, the level of throughput, the level of fees, etc. And I think that from a pure technology perspective, we want to be, like our whole team wants to help deliver that frog leaping moment for crypto. Second thing, to your question about frog leaping, I agree that that's how, that should be the goal of any group of people that see a lot of, see the problems that exist, but also see the potential. And the world is changing really fast in general. Like AI kind of like, in the past maybe 2-3 years has actually changed rapidly, like how people can build programs and how people can build new apps or new startups. It's very much an acceleration moment, and that's completely a moment that levels the playing field, where literally anyone who has a computer and access to ChatGPT or like whatever, like in the olden days, like in medieval times, before that, in ancient times, the wealthy had access to things that no one else did, and the gap between the extremely wealthy, like the kings of the world, and everyone else was very big. And nowadays, like the gap is really not that big. Like literally anyone can get access to those same AI tools or the same, as you said, like the same phone, the same computer, whatever.
About that, I was thinking about this, and with AI, blockchain, everything is changing so fast.
Yep.
So I think that we're gonna see a 12-year-old kid or a 13-year-old kid become a billionaire, a solo entrepreneur, just because it's super easy just to go to ChatGPT, create images, code. It's kind of crazy how the ecosystem has grown. And also by converging crypto with AI, I think that is an amazing mix of technologies. And also there's this combination that AI can produce basically anything. But with crypto and blockchain, you can verify basically everything. So I think that we have this theory in Espacio Crypto, and my co-founder wrote about us, that is blockchain is the shield and AI is the sword to go to combat to basically any idea you have. And you don't need to be like like a coder with 20 years of experience. You can just start using these technologies, and as we said of frog leaping, it's just a matter of time. It's not if it's gonna be possible, it's just a matter of time. So Keone, I'm really excited for this conversation, and I just wanna know, like, you're here in Mexico, you're here in Latam, your team is growing a lot, you have a lot of presence in crypto Twitter, in different events. What is next for Monad?
I think we've just got so much ahead still. We feel like we're just getting started. I know everyone always says that, but I do sincerely mean that. The mainnet coming soon is just the starting point. Yeah, I think that our team has been given a lot of resources to help grow the impact of Monad and the impact of crypto more generally. And it's our job to steward those resources well and invest them into efforts that help crypto grow overall. We're not big on like throwing parties or just like there's so much excess in the crypto space.
Yeah.
I think that our team's mentality is we're given resources and we're really privileged to have been given those resources, but everything needs to go into growing the developer ecosystem, getting more, supporting builders, creating resources that help folks that have an idea, like bring it to market and learn how to go on that entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to meet all the team that is here, and I would say, and I'm not, it's not because you're in front of me, but I would say that they are really smart and they really care about Monad. I think that there's this point whenever the teams grow so fast and they have, I don't know, 100, 200, 1,000 employees. Sometimes those values tend to go away, or at least it's just another job. And I haven't seen that in Monad Foundation at all. It's like they take their jobs super seriously, but they do not take themselves super seriously. So there's people with a lot of personality trying to build this thing, and I think that that is amazing, and I really I want to congratulate everyone on the Monad team just because they're good. Like, they're pretty capable and they're really smart, so I'm excited about that. So Keone, I'm just gonna go into the questions in Spanish. It has been an amazing interview. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I know that you speak Spanish, so I would like to ask you, si digo México, ¿qué es lo primero que viene a tu mente?
Para mí es la palabra cultura. Creo que hay cultura muy fuerte. Creo que tengo un sentimiento que la gente de México son gente que tienen valores muy fuertes y tienen...
Trabajamos duro.
Sí, sí, por supuesto, todos trabajan muy duros y hay un nivel de humildad también. Es muy importante en mi opinión.
Sí, estoy completamente de acuerdo. Oye, ¿y qué es lo que más te ha gustado de México hasta ahora?
Es el sentimiento de oportunidad, que todo es posible, porque el futuro está cambiando muy rápidamente y tenemos aquí desarrolladores que son muy inteligentes y tienen mucha posibilidad.
Me encanta. Keone, tenemos una sorpresa para ti y tenemos una máscara de luchador.
Oh, wow.
Tú dijiste que la cultura era algo de México.
Wow, gracias.
Con gusto. So yeah, just like that. Go for it. That's super cool. Maybe it's a little bit small. I'm sorry.
Está bien. Okay, here we go. Sí.
Sí, era un regalo que te teníamos. La cultura es algo que nos diferencia.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias. Creo que no
Gracias.
it didn't fit you. It was pretty small. But Keone, I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate that you're here in Mexico, that the Monad Foundation team is here. I think that the future is brilliant for Monad, for this type of partnership. And thank you very much for being here. That's the only thing that I want to mention. It's just like amazing that you take Latin America and Mexico seriously. And thank you very much for the interview. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really been fun spending a little bit of time with you over the past couple of days. And yeah, I'm just really inspired and excited for the future of Monad in Mexico City and in Latin America in general. There's so much to do.
Muchas gracias, Keone. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.